MIL-SPEC watches is back. What do we have here? We got a Tudor unboxing. All right, so let's get started. All right, what do we have here? Looks like a Tudor Heritage Black Bay, reference 79220 November. Put the watch down. Let's get this box out of the way. Let's bring in some other characters here. Wristwatch check. Rolex Explorer 2. Absolutely beautiful watch. All right, so just got this watch from FedEx today, so doing an unboxing on it. I have checked out these Tudor Black Bays, for a while now. Haven't really seen one that really caught my attention. I do like the old school, like older Tudors, and I like the dials of the older ones. So that's what drew me to this watch. Okay, so this dial here, as you can see, has a Tudor rose. Also has the smiley face for the rotor. As you can see down there, rotor self-winding. Absolutely love those older Tudors, and may pick one up in the future if I find a nice one for a good price. And that's what drew me to this watch. I really didn't know much about this watch, so I started looking more at the Black Bays. Some of the smaller references just don't suit my taste, because I prefer watches, around 41, 42 millimeters and up. So just do a quick comparison here with the FXD. You can see the two cousins. Hey, who's this guy here? Haven't seen this guy on the channel yet. I have a review of this guy coming up. Classic watch. Absolutely love this Omega. Got it on a Watches of Espionage strap. If you don't know Watches of Espionage, go ahead and look it up. Okay, so let's go over a couple specs of this watch here. It's 41 millimeters, 12.7 millimeters thick, 49 millimeter lug to lug. It has the ETA 2824 movement, so it is a bit thinner than the other Black Bays because of that. I believe the in-house movement is a bit thicker. Has 38 hours of power reserve, 200 meters water resistance, sapphire crystal. It doesn't have any fall rivets, as you can see. I think this is a much nicer bracelet than the current bracelets on the Black Bays. Like I said, this looks like the old school vintage Tudors that I really like. Very MIL-SPEC like watches. Tudor has always made MIL-SPEC like watches. This one is definitely MIL-SPEC. I think Tudor is making the modern tool watches, and it's definitely beating Rolex in that category, in my opinion. I think Rolex is more focused on being nice jewelry, but that's just my opinion. So, that can be argued. Like the Submariner is nice jewelry, but it's definitely a tool watch. And so are the Sea Dwellers. I mean, my Deep Sea is definitely a tool watch, but it's also nice jewelry. So is this. This is freaking jewelry too. But I think Tudor is making more watches that are more tool-like than Rolex is these days. That's what I'm basically trying to say. Being a former Army guy, I absolutely love MIL-SPEC watches. So, like I said, the dial of this watch is really what drew me to it. Right? You got the Tudor rose instead of the Tudor shield on there, and you have that smiley face instead of the straight line lettering that you see in the modern day, like, the current day Tudor Black Bays. And this does have the ETA movement in it. I'm not a snob about, having to have an in-house movement. ETA movement, it's a good movement. This is a workhorse movement. It's cheaper to service. You can take it to many different watch servicing places, and they'll know how to service this ETA movement, as opposed to having like an in-house movement that may have to go to Tudor for servicing and replacement of parts. So here's that bracelet. There's the back. Just got this watch. Haven't even put it on the wrist yet. So let's go ahead and put it on the wrist, see if it fits with the current sizing on that bracelet. I might keep it on this bracelet. Might put it on a NATO. Not sure at this point. Let's see how this bracelet feels. The only bracelets I've liked up to this point are the Rolex Oyster bracelets. Okay, I can see it's a little big on me. I have a 7 1/4. It's a, yeah, 7 1/4 inch wrist. But there's the watch. So let me know what you think about this Tudor, or about the modern Tudor Black Base. You know, another thing a lot of people say is special about this watch, it had a short lifespan. So this came out in October of 2015, this specific reference and specific dial. And it was discontinued March 17th of 2016. So that's about 5 months from October 2015 to March 17th, 2016. Yeah, that's about 5 months. So you know how watch crazies are, us watch nerds and enthusiasts, like, oh, it wasn't made for that much, that long, so that means there's not many of them out there, so that makes them even more special, and they'll be collectors in the future. I don't know if this watch will be collectible in the future, and I really don't care. I don't buy watches, you know, to try to make money in the future as investments or to try to flip them or anything like that. I buy them because I love them. And I'll experience this watch, and if in the future I fall out of love with it, I'll just sell it. Yeah, so, I mean, or trade it in for another watch. What I really like about this watch is the dial, because it calls back to those older Tudors. That's the number one thing I like about this watch. And I like the size. So, yeah, that's just a quick, I guess, look over of this watch. Just opened it. Definitely going to put it on. I don't know, my initial feeling about the bracelet doesn't feel that, I don't know, heavy duty, in my opinion, which is my preferences, but it definitely feels like a nice bracelet. It doesn't feel as nice as the Rolex Oyster bracelet though, but definitely feels nice, not cheap. But I prefer my watches on NATO, so I'm going to throw this thing on a NATO, different NATOs, just to see how those look and just experience, you know, different straps. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Let's compare it to the Explorer 2 real quick. There it is compared to the Explorer 2. There you can see. I do like crown guards on watches, but I think that this crown looks very nice on the Tudor. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know your thoughts on this watch. Which one do you prefer, these older dials or the newer dials? What do you think about Tudor watches as compared to, like, you know, if Tudor's making more tool-like watches than Rolexes these days? I definitely think they are. Still love both watch brands. You know, they're sister companies. So I think that you definitely get great value for money with Tudors. I don't think it's like the cheap, you know, the cheaper man's Rolex, or if you can't afford a Rolex, go for a Tudor. I think Tudor is in its own right an excellent watch. And I don't agree with that, you know, this is just a cheap Rolex. Definitely not. These things are absolutely lovely watches. I absolutely love my Tudor FXD. All right, with that said, MIL-SPEC watch is over and out.